Hello everybody, welcome back to Property Couple. I hope you guys are all really well. If you're new here, then my name is Lia and this is my channel which I run with my husband AK, where we talk about all things property investing, business and working together as a couple. I just thought in this video we could talk a little bit about what's going on currently in the market. For those of you that are keeping up to date with things, you'll notice that the base rate has dropped and mortgage rates have started to decrease now. I don't know about you guys, but walking around our investment area, we were just seeing houses that were on the market for a really long time. Things were not selling because mortgage rates had crept up. But more recently, we're starting to see a lot of sold or sold subject to contract boards. It looks like people are starting to take action again. From the Bank of England to cut their base rates from 5.25 to 5% for the first time since March 2020. Everything else is now having the domino effect after that. So for people that are saving money in their accounts, they'll notice that banks are offering less favorable interest rates now for savers. I just thought this felt like a very natural time to do a little bit of property digging, to have a little bit of time to research and see what's on the market and see what's available. It also feels like quite an interesting time for auctions because people have got money ready to go. People don't like to admit it, but a lot of people have got enough cash ready to go to buy properties outright, especially in like the northeast, the northwest. I just feel like we are now starting to see a lot more activity. People are starting to get involved a little bit more, and all it took was that slight drop of interest rates for people to do that. Obviously, this all does depend on like if you're buying in your personal name, buying in a limited company and things like that. But I was just bringing up the sort of latest 5-year mortgage deals on the market. But let's have a little look at some deals that I pulled up last night whilst I was on Landlord. Now, I must say before I start talking about Landlord that they are a brand partner of ours and they're the only brand partner we actually work with on our channel. They are an all-in-one platform that makes property investing easy. So not only can you manage, track and optimize your portfolio on there and check that things are operating and performing at their best, they've also got financing options on there as well as deal analysis tools now, which I thought we could have a look at in this video because the deal analysis tools are really cool. And if you find a deal, you don't have to then go contact a broker and sort of wait for them to send you like illustrations of what rates you could be getting. You could actually do it all on the platform and read your terms immediately. And if it was an auction purchase or something that was very quick, with the digital lender by Landlord, you can get quick financing, you can get completion in as little as 5 days. You can just see your terms immediately, see what rates, see what lenders they work with. I brought up here some of the available lenders because I'm interested to know who these guys are working with. A lot of these people we've got mortgages with already. The Mortgage Works, Together Finance. We don't have anything with Skipton's, but know of them. LendInvest, we've got quite a few with LendInvest, Kensington Mortgages. So the available lenders are on here, all, you know, they're not dodgy basically is what I'm saying. These are all reputable lenders. So let's bring up a deal that I was looking at yesterday in Liverpool, and I was thinking to show you the deal analyzer, which you can use on Landlord. I think it's free for the first 4 or 5 deals, and then after that they invite you to be part of their platform. So there'll be links in my description as well for everything I'm talking about in this video. So let's have a look. Okay, so as you can see on the side here, auctions, on-market properties. I do like to see what's going on with auction just because I do think there are some great deals to be had, especially if you have got money ready to go, or even if you don't, you can utilize bridging finance. If the numbers do stack up, you could bridge the rest of the way in using Landlord's bridging finance tools. Always worth having a look at auctions, especially if you've got a couple of buy-to-lets already. Maybe you've bought at auction before, maybe not so much if it is your first deal, but I do like to have a look at auctions. So let's see. Here's one in Liverpool. L46TY, and the guide price is £75,000. So obviously guide price, you've always got to take that with a bit of a pinch of salt because there is like a 20% often on top of the guide price, which could be the absolute minimum they'd let it go for. This changes, but when I was learning about auctions, there was like a 20% minimum on top of the guide price. It's just to entice people. I've gone on to Rightmove now. I've typed in the L46TY postcode. What I want to see here is other terraced houses in the area and what they're going for or what they've sold for. We can see here some other 3 beds for 150. That was an end terrace. Another one for 150. Our one is not an end terrace, it's a mid terrace. But these ones at 150 are not super done up. Like they're not super shiny, and they're very average looking on the inside. So obviously for this as well, you always want to try and look for like sold data, because sold data shows you what something actually sold for, whereas on the market data is just what people want for it. One way of kind of thinking about that is, if I put my house up for sale and I think my house is worth £350,000, but truly the max I'm probably going to get for it is like 330. As the seller, I'm always gonna, and the estate agent's always gonna try and want to get you the best price possible. So that's why people should only take the on market price with a little bit of a pinch of salt. That would be like best case scenario. Having a look at that property, L460Y, and then clicking on the deal analyzer in Landlord. And as you can see here, the analysis strategy, buy to let, which is buying it and renting it out. Flip, which is buying it, refurbishing it and selling it on for more money. And then the BRRR, buy, renovate, refinance, rent out, is something that we're very familiar with here on this channel, and which you might have seen a lot of people do online. It seems to be BRRR everywhere right now. It's very in. So buy, renovate, refinance, which is getting a new mortgage, pulling more money out of what you've just done. You've just made it shinier, made it prettier. So getting some of that equity out and renting it out. So getting cash flow every month. I've put in a purchase price here of £90,000, which is 20% more than the guide price. And yeah, it might end up going for more. It will probably end up going for more, but we'll put these numbers in. And then once it's in the deal analyzer, we can tweak these numbers and see how that affects the cash flow per month and how that affects the return on investment as well. So now with the refurb costs, I'm going to put in £10,000, and then I have put in a done up value of 150, which I know is very admirable, but this DUV we can also adjust that to be way less when we get the sliding scale. And then the expected rent here in this box, which is after the refurbishment, what we've done to find out that is there's like a property data plugin on the side, and the average 3-bed asking rent is £958 per month. So we can look at that as a buy to let and not as an HMO, obviously not per room. Per room it's going to be a bit less, but the whole house would be renting for a bit more if it was HMO. Let's have a look then. Property purchase price on the slider. So if you like move that up and down, you can see that obviously the return on investment or return on capital goes up and up. So you start to pay more for the property. You can see that the ROI is going now into the 30%, which is actually still really amazing. And now I'm bringing down that property value after the refurbishment's done. So if it did get valued at say 140 or less, like how does that affect the ROI? How does that affect the cash and the money left in the deal? If it got refinanced and the valuer said, yep, you've made this house shinier now, it's now worth £145,000. The money left in the deal on these short-term metrics here is £5,550, which is not bad. Like, it's not bad money left in the property that you're not going to be pulling back out. The net annual cash flow is quite low, but for a buy-to-let, that's kind of just normal. A monthly cash flow of £387. A lot of people online would say, oh, not really interested in an extra £387 per month. But it's £387 per month that you didn't have before, and that is an asset, and if you had quite a few of them, would obviously make a difference. And you're going to get that capital appreciation in the future. I know we show a lot of HMOs that cash flow 1,500 or 1,200, and they could just cash flow better per month. But I do think these like standard, simple buy-to-lets that give you a couple of £100 every month guaranteed, I think they're absolutely essential in the portfolio, because they're just like laying the foundations for like a solid portfolio in the future. These family buy-to-lets that are nothing crazy, no huge numbers, not a huge amount of risk either, like especially if you are starting out. So these tools are really helpful. You can like play around with it, you can have a look at all the variables. For those people that are quite analytical and they really want to just look at the numbers and they want to deep dive and dig, amazing, you absolutely need to be like that. This is a great tool because you don't have to go in and change everything. You can just sort of sliding scale and see. I quite like this long-term metric here where it says equity in 10 years, 202,251. I do like that because obviously everything we're buying right now, the idea for us, and I think for a lot of you guys, is to hang on to this stuff, keep it for a very long time in your portfolio, perhaps refinance it once there has been some more capital appreciation, perhaps pay down some mortgages and just sort of have it as a long-term investment. See, if you're going down the flipping strategy, then that's not the idea. That's just do a project, get in, get out, and make a lump sum amount of cash. So now obviously I've opened the financing side of things on here, and basically, let me find out how much it could be to bridge this. And what I'll do is I'll go through this application probably up until the point of where I say, yes, please run a credit check on me, just because I'm going through another application at the moment. I don't really want to do a soft credit check on myself. So you go on the digital lender by Lendlord, you put in the estimated purchase price, put in 95,000 there. See, that could change. How much do you want to borrow? Okay, I've put in borrowing 50,000. Next page is just basically putting your details in, name, email. Is the property to be used as security your residential address where you live? I've put no to that. Would rather this investment be used as the security, not where I live. How do you intend to repay the bridging finance back? So the sale of the property, a sale of another property, or the refinance of this deal. So I usually put refinance of the property to pay back the bridge. What's your approx annual income? So you can change that if you need to. How many properties do you own? Obviously that's connected to my Lendlord account. You can change that, dragging that down, maybe just say you've got one, maybe the property you live in. Have you ever been bankrupt? No. Obviously you just answer these honestly. Usually it's just to do like with mortgage arrears and things like that. So what stage you at is like, have you had an offer accepted? Like how quickly do we need to move on this for you? Are you viewing properties? Are you researching what's going on? And then so you just answer all those questions. Good news, we can assist you with this financing. Please see below your indicative terms. So what indicative terms are, what usually brokers take a bit of time to get back to you on indicative terms. So like the kind of rates you could be looking at. That initial interest rate there would be monthly interest because it's a bridge. But often with bridging finance, if you guys have watched our other videos, you'll know that bridging interest is often deducted upfront off of the loan, and then it's reimbursed at the very end with whatever you haven't used. So say you bridge for 12 months, but you only use 6 months of the interest, you get 6 months of that back reimbursed to you at the end when you pay it off. There's obviously a few more questions to go through here. I pressed consent, and then with the credit information, I didn't go ahead with it just because I don't actually want to go ahead with this deal. I'm not seriously looking at this deal. I just wanted to do it for the video. Make sure you do say if you're going to be buying it in a company or in your personal name, and you take it from there. I hope that's been interesting or helpful in some way for you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're currently starting to look for properties, if you are active in the market, what you're doing, because things start to be really picking up. I'm seeing a lot of stuff sold STC right now, and it does feel like we're at the start of some next sort of wave of investing and activity. So maybe another little boom coming. Property boom, not a crash, thank God. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are all really, really well. Thank you again to Lendlord for sponsoring our channel and for sponsoring a portion of this video. This is a platform that I use and do recommend to people. I wouldn't recommend something if I didn't use it myself. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.